I am going to be brutally honest in this video, because it needs to be done, and I, and many of you here as well, have already been through what the VTubing community and Pikamee fans are currently going through. Because what is happening is, simply, that something has been taken from you. Someone saw you having fun and elected to try and destroy that fun. They saw you engaging in escapism to disengage from the real world, and they hated it. And, on this occasion, they succeeded. And unless some changes are made, they will continue to succeed using the exact same method as they did here, because the precise same series of circumstances probably exist within damn near every single VTuber community. So, I'm not going to pretend here that I know anything about Pikamee, or her style of content or history, or anything like that. But, on principle, I don't like a person having to quit a job they probably loved over wokeist harassment. And make no mistake, that is what this was. A site like Kotaku, about as far left as you can get, does not write a covering defensive article calling the harassment of a female streamer criticism, unless there is some heavy-duty harassment from a certain direction going on, as they are part of the group who turned harassment into literal currency in the first place, and they are currently denying Pikamee that currency. And I can say that for absolute certain because, as much as I know nothing about Pikamee, I can and do understand and sympathize with what is happening here, because it has happened to me, and to you again and again and again. For what it all boils down to is that something you liked has been taken away from you. You can no longer enjoy that thing. In the case of a VTuber, this case Pikamee, it is because she is no longer there. She has been graduated by a bunch of people who decided to force their political ideology upon her. Just like they decided to force it upon Star Wars, upon Star Trek, upon Lord of the Rings, upon gaming, upon 40k as a hobby, upon all of these settings and more, countless universes who now exist as nothing more than the merest shadow of what they were, in many cases becoming something completely different in the process, and near universally becoming exclusionary as well. I bring up this example every time I talk about this, because it is such an exceptionally good one. I have been a fan of Warhammer for damn near as long as I have lived, and it never, at any point, excluded anyone on any basis beyond the ability to pay for overpriced plastic. But as soon as the modern-day wokeists got in the door, then Warhammer is for everyone except those who don't agree with our politics. For my current audience, this is old hat. Many of us have been dealing with this for years and years and years. But for anyone who is new to this, someone from the VTubing community who haven't engaged in politics ever, this might seem ridiculous, difficult to understand, absurd even, but there exists a group of people out there who are of the opinion that if you are not explicitly on their side, you are explicitly against them. I've been showing you some tweets in the background here of these people for a while now. These are the people that say that if you play Hogwarts Legacy, you are literally killing trans people. Now this is of course ridiculous, but it is not performative. They really do believe this. In fact, they have constructed entire worldviews around justifying this belief. This is the reason why they feel it is perfectly acceptable to harass people, to send them death threats, and to attack them over playing a game like Hogwarts Legacy. Because if you really did believe that playing a video game would kill someone you knew, you'd probably have strong opinions on it as well. The problem is, of course, that it isn't. So let me real briefly here explain to you why they think this to get you a little bit in the mindset. J.K. Rowling used to be the darling of the left. She is a radical feminist to this day. But the left has moved a lot further left since then, and J.K. Rowling has fallen off the train. She remains a radical feminist, but this also means that she believes that certain spaces should only be available to females, to women. The currently leading edge of left-wing theory, however, calls this position trans-exclusionary. And since she is no longer a part of the far left, she must therefore be part of the far right. As you can see in yet another tweet here, if you support J.K. Rowling's position in any way, she will take that money and give it to far-right politicians, which she donates to frequently. Because again, being a radical feminist is now a far-right position. I know it's absurd, but here we are. And as for the killing them part, well, this relates to healthcare. Say, for example, that J.K. Rowling, whose opinion is that a woman is an adult human female, and therefore her line of thought is trans-exclusionary, was to give money to a medical program that only supports women according to her definition. Well, this program would then be denying care to trans females, or so they believe. And so, if they do not have access to something that J.K. Rowling has paid for, J.K. Rowling is therefore killing them. A bit of a leap of logic, but that is where we are. We could then go into explaining why the progressives feel that they are entitled to J.K. Rowling's money and success, but we'll keep the newbie tutorial short there, as again, most of you watching will probably know this already. And that, then, is the reason why Pikamee was cancelled, because she listed a stream of a game that these people have deemed to be problematic, to literally be killing people. She was cancelled for violating wokeist dogma, or more correctly, thinking about doing it, and whether she quit as a result of the harassment, the doxing, or the death threats, or was graduated by the company is mostly irrelevant. I've seen both sides being argued, though personally I would suspect the latter, as VTuber companies are by and large incredibly poisonous entities who protect their brand and product above all, and the VTubers are not the product. They are merely the delivery device. They are the equivalent of the guy that wears the Mickey Mouse costume at Disney World, presenting a facsimile in the real world of wholesome innocence and cuteness. Of course, like with all things, there are exceptions, but by and large this is the rule, especially for corporate VTubers. And you can see just how much of a rule it is when even super popular and successful ones are yeeted for the tiniest of missteps. Kiryu Koko was the highest earning super chat YouTuber on the platform, and she was graduated for showing a YouTube statistic mentioning Taiwan as a country. Which of course created drama, and drama is the death of VTubers, because it shatters the illusion, and it is a powerful illusion as well. When the dragon graduated, people described it as akin to losing a close family member. No wonder everyone is so up in arms about the current cancellation. And you know what? Good. Be upset. Be angry. Because they did take something from you that didn't need to go away. And to steal a page out of the leftist playbook, because fight fire with fire, let this radicalize you. Because it will happen again. The entire point of the VTuber product, as I briefly mentioned earlier, is to present the perfect facade, the studiously inoffensive cute anime character, with as broad appeal as possible. But in our current world of inflamed political tensions, it is becoming damn near impossible to figure out what is inoffensive. You can, and will, as demonstrated by this, be cancelled for playing a video game. Correction, for planning to play a video game. Because everything is political now. The progressives have made it so. Thus, I will simply leave you with this statement, and a question for all the VTuber fans out there. They took your thing away from you. The thing you loved and cherished. Now, what are you going to do about it?